They don't.
Got to call our meeting back to order. Next item on the agenda, item 10, superintendent's report.
None.
Okay, item 11, under consensus items, item A, personnel, appendix G, Dr. Welmers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Request the board approve the personnel matters as presented.
Move for approval.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor, please.
Excuse me, but I want to say to the Division of Human Resources, thank you for this additional information. See how easy it is? I asked last time, and now you missed a few places here, but next time we'll get them all.
We'll get them
But
all.
thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
I really do. It does make a difference because you can see a pattern of our needs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I understand we have quite a few needs now, filling vacancies, so.
John, do me a favor, for some of our newer board members, our next meeting is not until September, and school will have already started. Process for folks who are going to be teaching when the school year starts, who might not make it to the September board meeting.
Yeah, we go ahead and, because of the time constraints, what we do is go ahead and offer the job, they accept, we make the placement, we start the process, but it is contingent upon both the background check, and then we would take them to you for recommendation and approval. But because of the time, we have to have folks in the classroom, so we do that before the board meeting, get everything set.
So it's possible that somebody could potentially be in the classroom without board approval, but it's pending your approval at that September meeting.
That's right, and all decisions are finalized by your approval.
Any other comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Item B, change of school assignment, appendix H, Dr. Holliday.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the board recommend that you approve these change of school assignments to neighboring school districts based on the fact that they're children of employees of that district.
Move for approval.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Item 12, I don't see any old business. So next item on the agenda, item 13, under new business. Item A, 2015-16 budget resolution, appendix I, Mary Hazel Small.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I recommend the board's approval of the budget resolution as per the presentation I made at the last work session that includes the changes that, there's also a summary of the changes attached to the resolution.
Mary Hazel,
Yes, sir.
could you elaborate a little bit about what we're approving in light of state budget, and just kind of give everyone a flavor of what your challenges are and what you will do with this approval?
Sure. The items that are pending discussion by the state, the pay tables and certain issues that they haven't resolved in terms of certain positions, we will adjust. We put our best guess into the resolution, and we will amend the budget. You know, once that is finalized for all the estimated salaries, we are putting them in reserve, and then they will be finalized once the state budget is approved. The only salary adjustments that we have gone ahead and made are the ones that were in the continuing resolution, the increase for beginning teachers to new beginning pay of $35,000, which was approved by the state in their continuing resolution, and we were instructed to go ahead and implement in July, which we've done. All other pay adjustments will be finalized after the state budget is approved, and we'll bring it back to you for consideration. Is that what you were referring to?
Yes, ma'am, that's helpful. Thank you.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in-
My only comment is I still, I'm not in favor of going ahead and hiring $900,000 or incurring $900,000 worth of salaries before we actually have the state budget. So we are planning on going ahead and hiring all those individuals, are we not?
That was what was recommended.
Okay.
It's completely up to the board. If the board chooses to put those on hold, we can certainly do that.
What's the hardship if you have to wait a month?
The positions that are listed, some positions are at the school level. There's a couple of assistant principals, some custodians, social workers. So, you know, we like to have those positions in place if possible at the beginning of the school year. But, you know, we certainly can wait. You know, we don't have them now. So, you know, it would be an addition. So that, unless Dr. Markley wants to add anything. That's the main concern for the central
If you
office.
if you were gonna do that, I'd say, let me fill the school level positions, and we can hold those that aren't school level. And that's sort of a compromise in there.
Yes.
Well, we have a motion to approve the budget resolution as presented.
I move that we amend the motion to, Mary Hazel, say it?
What you would be amending it to is that, we would only fill new positions that are school-based positions.
Okay, that's my amendment.
Second.
Now we
No.
vote on the amendment.
One minute, I've got a question. What's that gonna do? All right, say again, what, because that's confusing from what we were gonna do before.
There's 18 new positions that Ms. Eastep's talking about. Most of those are school-based positions, psychologists, those positions. There are several that are what you would call central office positions. So until we get a finalized state budget, we just simply will not fill those positions. But because we want to make sure that we get folks in there with students, we would fill the school-based positions. That make sense?
And what happens if we don't get the funding with the ones that we're gonna go ahead and approve?
The funding is in the local
Yeah,
budget,
those
not
are
the
local
state.
funded.
But I thought it was for all of them.
Well, I think Ms. Eastep wanted us to put it on hold in case you decided to do something different with your local funding. So it was all local money, but if there was a state cut, I think she wanted to keep as much in reserve as possible, you know, in case you wanted to make a different decision. It's not that we're waiting for state approval of this, it's just, I don't want to speak for you, but I think that was your intent, to
Yeah,
try to keep as much in reserve as possible.
I would rather be cautiously moving ahead since we don't have a state budget. So most of the positions are school-based positions, they're custodial, they're social workers, but there are about, I think, 5 or 6 central office positions. And I just think it would be prudent, and it would demonstrate to the county that we're being prudent to wait on some positions. We're not gonna impact the schools.
But I was thinking that was money already allocated by the county that it was
But
gonna
not
be
for a
approved.
specific purpose, you determine the
Right.
purpose.
But that amount had been allocated.
It has been allocated, but basically, you know, it's already in the resolution to be budgeted this way. We'll just hold on the hiring, and that way you can change your mind.
And also, I thought that regardless, I thought what the state would, that we would have funding, that's why with the TAs that are already back in the classrooms, with the year-round schools, that the funding would be there for this year. Next year might be a problem.
We're anticipating that, but again, until the two sides come together and have a budget, it's best guess in some respects. So I'm okay with holding back a little bit if we need to, but go ahead and taking care of those folks at the school level.
Okay.
We vote on the amendment.
Okay, all those, your amendment, say it again now, you want to amend the original motion?
My amendment, Mary Hazel will repeat it.
Dr. Markley.
Let's recommend approval as presented, but put the central office, the new central office positions on hold until the state budget is finalized.
That's what I said.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. Okay, so now we vote on that would be the new.
Amended motion.
Yeah. All those in favor of the amended motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed? No. So it'd be 5-1. Okay.
I'm not sure I understand what just happened there.
First,
Would you
voted-
clarify, why'd you vote twice, I guess?
Well,
First was the amendment.
for the amendment,
Okay.
which then became the main motion, and then we voted on the main motion.
Robert's rules require.
Had that
Yeah.
failed, then we would have gone back to the original
Well, I'm
motion.
just trying to understand why votes were changed between the first and the second. I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I was just trying to understand what the passion was or wasn't there, but I can talk to you later.
Well,
Thank you.
Okay, item B, Learning Perspectives Incorporated Contract, Appendix J, Dr. Holliday.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. This is one of our standard special ed contracts this year that help us provide services for children with IEPs. And this contract will assist us in doing that, and this is just the maximum amount of the contract. So I recommend that you approve it.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any questions?
Yes. Dr. Holliday,
Sir.
Could you elaborate just a little and also include the dollar amount?
The dollar amount is $112,665, and it is a contract with, make sure I look at this, I've got several tonight. It provides rehabilitation services for some of our children in our schools because we can't hire these people at the cost of hiring our own. Plus, it is a very high needs area and hard to hire, and it's cheaper and much more efficient for us to work with an outside agency to come in than to try to hire our own.
And correct me if I'm wrong, there is a new part to the contract for all of them where you will be administering a customer satisfaction survey, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you also make sure to bring those survey results to the board?
I will.
Thank you.
Any other comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Item C, Child Development Center Contract, Appendix K, Dr. Holliday.
This is a partner that we work with as a community agency that assists special ed with our child find situation. We are required by law to find children in our community that may require special education services as young as 3. And this child development, the CDC you've heard of, helps us to do that. The amount of the contract is $803,000, $803,280, and I recommend that you approve this. And this is a contract that we have worked with this partner for some time.
Move for approval?
Second.
Questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Item D, Easter Seals United Cerebral Palsy Contract, Appendix L, Dr. Holliday.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. This is also a contract, much like the CDC, that we work with this agency to help us provide services for children who are of preschool age that we're required under Child Find to provide services for, and this contract is for $200,820. Just for the public's benefit, and of course for Mr. Shell, and who's first time on the board, this money basically comes to us for this purpose. It's not something that we can make other choices. We have to go out and do something like this. So it's not something that we could take this $200,000 or the $800,000 and do something else with.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We did have a motion.
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Item 12, under new business, continued. Item E, Soliant Health Contract, Appendix M, Dr. Holliday.
Yes, this is also a contract with a private agency in a hard-to-fill area in our special ed department. We have currently 2.5 vacancies, 2.5 vacancies in this particular area, speech pathologist. It's very hard to fill, and it's much more economical for us to do it this way than to wait around and try to hire our own folks. And the maximum contract here is $353,078. And again, a contract, this is specifically money that we get for purposes just like this. So I ask that you approve it.
Are these federal funds?
Sir?
Are these federal funds?
It's mostly state pass-through.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Item F, ACES membership, Appendix N, Dr. Holliday.
Thank you. This organization is our Special Education Advisory Group. Mrs. Estep is the board representative on that, and Ms. Askew works with that group directly as our Special Education Advisory, as our Special Education Director. I think because of the leadership of those two ladies, this organization has become much more active. Last year they had 2 parent forums that were very well attended. Had some strange green cheese at UNCW. I still haven't figured out for the snack yet. So when we got it over at our place, we let the green cheese go by. But other than that, it was a very good, had a very good year. Dr. Markley and I last week met with the outgoing chair for our annual report. And some of the.
You guys were sent a copy of that.
Yeah, and some of the things that they're looking at doing this year, and again, very positive. It is a board committee, and as you see, members of that organization and what their roles are, and we simply just ask that you approve the membership of our ACES group.
Move for approval.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Item G, NHC Mental Health Services Contract, Appendix O. Holiday.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Many of you know that we have been, one of the things our principal's been asking about is improving our mental health services and trying to work with our partners. We've had this program in our schools for some time, where we have a contract with the health department that we actually put site-based mental health centers in some of our schools. And some of them are our very high-need schools, and some of them, some of our elementary schools that may not be, but because they have very high mental health needs in those schools, we have those professionals working in the schools. The other thing that I would like to mention about this particular contract is the mental health folks from the county will go where we ask them to go. If we have a special need in a particular school that we weren't anticipating, and we say, can you provide us some services over here at this particular school that you don't have the center-based services in, they're perfectly willing to do that. They've been very good partners with us, and again, this is one of the things that you recognize as a board, and you went and asked, our county commission, and they've actually provided some additional funds for this. So again, this contract is one that we've had for some time, and I ask that you approve it.
Move for approval.
Second.
Questions?
Yes. I believe you explained to me before, I want to make sure I'm on the same page with you, that the health department provides the service, but it's almost a reimbursement, meaning we have so many units of service, for lack of a better term, and as they do the service in the schools, they're paid for those services with a cap that we don't spend more than the contract, $680,000.
Yes, sir. We won't be spending any more than the contract, and it is a billable service. Medicaid and other private insurance also provides it. This amount doesn't cover the actual numbers of people that we have working. The billable services help to make that up. So this is the contract that will spend this much money, but to get to the point where it pays for the services, they are billable. It's not like our school nurses. Our school nurses don't send out bills, but
So from a checks and balances point of view, the county staff come in and they work with the school system and they provide the service. And when it comes time, I guess I'm looking at Mary Hazel, but when it comes time,
don't look at her.
I'm looking at both of you.
Okay.
But when the time comes for the county to be paid for the service that they're providing, is that it looks like it's a monthly billing
is.
arrangement?
Yes, it is.
How do you, and I'm not trying to get too deep in the weeds here, but I'm just trying to understand, how do you sign off on the work that's being done so that you authorize the payment?
Mary Hazel.
Well, Dr. Holiday signs off on it. We basically just split the funding over 10 equal payments, throughout the year, throughout the school year, and then they just determine that the coverage is provided in the school. So
Right.
if they weren't getting the services that we had scheduled, the principals would let Dr. Holiday know.
And we don't get that. In fact, what we get is the need is much greater than, as you all know, mental health need is much greater than the amount we have. And sometimes it's like spreading last little bit of peanut butter at the bottom of the jar, trying to get it on a piece of bread, and you're tearing it all to pieces because you just don't have that much peanut butter. And that's probably a bad analogy, but that's my breakfast lunch.
So basically, we just pay them the same amount
Right.
each month?
Yes, we do.
And they deliver the service?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Item H, nurses contract, Appendix P. Dr. Holliday.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. As you know, we have a very good nurse program in our schools, and one of the things that this year we were able to do with the additional support that we have from the county and from you guys is we're asking to add back one additional 40-hour position, which that would increase because the cost increase the contract from last year. That one position is going to allow Gregory and Sunset Elementary to be restored to a 40-hour nurse, which right now they have 32. So that gives them, that 40 hours be split up to where they get that additional 8 hours in those schools. And as you know, those are very high-need schools. Winter Park would also receive a increasing nursing services up to 32 hours a week, which right now they're getting 20, and that's also a high-need school. Holly Tree, which has basically been cut back to very little nursing services, will get up to 32 hours a week this week because of the growing demand at that particular site. One of the things that we ask our partners to do at the health department, we have two very good supervisors and one that oversees the entire program. We tell them, take a look at our schools based on what we have and tell us how we can get the coverage. And this is what they recommend because of the number of, first of all, emergency medical plans that we have in our schools. You don't know about that, which with the child is medically fragile and has an emergency medical plan. And all the things that they do around that, and the numbers that we have would require additional nursing services in the school. As you also know, last year, an additional requirement that got a lot of press last year, it's not getting a whole lot this year because we're already doing it, is, as you know, we've got EpiPens in our schools in places that people can get to, and that's actually worked out well. I haven't heard of any opportunities to have to use those, but we do have them, and I feel a whole lot better knowing that there's a school nurse available in most of our schools in case we have those, because I'm not real comfortable giving myself a shot of epinephrine. I don't know about y'all, but you know, but we do have those there. We also have the defibrillators in all of our facilities, not just in our schools. And technically, you know, if you're trained in that, you don't have to be a nurse to do that. But again, having that available in our schools also is one of the things that our school health partners help us with. Very big need, and just ask that you approve this contract. It's been a very good working partnership over the years, and I would appreciate you all to approve that.
Move for approval.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Item I, curriculum course guide, Appendix Q. Dr. Smith.
Yes, thank you. We are looking to expand our course offerings, specifically at Holly Shelter Middle School, and we are asking your approval of an amendment to the curriculum course guide so that they can provide their students the opportunity to participate in beginning guitar.
Motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Comments, questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, item 13, call to the audience with non-agenda items. I'd like to also state that the chairperson retains the right to limit comments on a particular topic when such discussion becomes slanderous or personal in nature. Due to confidentiality requirements, a public meeting is an inappropriate forum to discuss personnel issues. We've had two individuals sign up tonight. Our first speaker, Cameron Chandler. It's actually not Cameron, it's Richard. Well, that was the second speaker. So Cameron is not here then, so? No, that's. She's been here. Okay. We'll go to the second, Richard Chandler. Okay. And sir, you have 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm able to say, so if you need to stop me, feel free to stop me.
Mr. Boyd, our board attorney, will help me in that
Okay.
matter.
Yep. So my name's Richard Chandler. I'm a resident of New Hanover County. I'm a father of a 3.5-year-old future New Hanover County student and a husband to a teacher. I'm here to speak for those who have been silenced and too afraid to talk. I'm here on my own accord. I was persuaded by my wife not to come. I felt compelled to come due to the nature of the information that I'm about to discuss. I would like to address the 2015 Teacher Working Conditions Survey as it relates to workplace bullying. First, discuss bullying. 25% of teachers in mid-sized school districts experience bullying, according to the National Education Association.org. New Era County is not immune to this disruptive and costly behavior. Costly because teachers are moving to different schools, losing their jobs, mental health days, etc. In some instances, we have administrators in place in New Hanover County who have been accused or reprimanded for such behavior, whether in New Hanover County or other counties across the country. Now I would like to discuss and reference Teacher Working Conditions Survey at school. I will estimate numbers to not disclose the school. Teachers feel comfortable raising issues and concerns that are important to them. 2014, 42.7%. 2015, under 5%. The school leadership consistently supports teachers. 2014, 80%. 2015, below 20%. Teacher performance is assessed objectively. 2014, 80%. 2015, less than 30%. The school improvement team provides effective leadership at this school. 2014, 60%. 2015, less than 20%. The reason I've read these is to show that the support for the teachers at certain schools is not prevalent. Excuse me. Also, teachers who are represented, are not represented, and are silenced are, I've lost my train of thought because I left my other notes over here, excuse me.
Yeah, your time's actually up, Mr. Shannon, but go ahead and whatever you have there, if
Thank
you'd
you.
like to wrap it up with that.
My ask is that there's policy put in place to protect our teachers for such behavior, to protect their mental health and jobs. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for
thank
your
you.
time, and I appreciate you listening to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, item 14, any correspondence any board members would like to share? Item 15, under announcements, the next regular meeting of the Board of Education is scheduled for Tuesday, September the 1st, 2015, in this room. Item B, summer school graduation will be held on Thursday, August 13th, 7 p.m. in the auditorium at Snipes Elementary School.
Question on that one. It's gonna be a very small graduation, and I know we do, cap and, you typically wear cap and gowns at our traditional graduations. Is that still the board's preference for this one?
We've held on to them for that purpose.
Yep, we're
Mine's
right
in
now
fall.
looking at about 4 students.
Pardon?
4 students?
We've just kind of set a precedent in that if the graduates have on caps and gowns, then the board would, unless the board would like to.
I think they normally wore caps and gowns for summer.
Well, we haven't had them in the past.
Yeah, we were told to hold on to them for this graduation.
Is that okay with the majority of the?
Just wanted to double check.
Do we have to? I hate those robes. They're hot.
It'd be cold that night.
They're very hot. Would it be impossible for a board member to wear regular business clothes?
If that is an inconvenience, we can certainly change it. It's just, I've always felt that that graduation should have the same demeanor and respect as our other graduates.
You're right,
But we
I'm
never had-
fine
but
with
we-
it.
but
we
If
never
if it's
had.
the
We're
will of
only
the board,
having-
I'm fine with it.
This is
But we
Four-
haven't had them, but.
Four
Right,
graduates,
no, you
so
hadn't
it's
done
not
it in
gonna
the
take that
past,
long.
have you?
but
Sorry,
we
I
have
asked the
them.
question.
Oh, okay.
We might somehow, Ms. Kavanaugh,
We
do
can have
something
the
yours
fan.
and open the back, or, you know.
It's not, it
not
won't
the
be
end
that
of the
anyway.
It's gonna be very short. There's only 5, I think, at this point.
I tell you what, the fan, and Tabitha did a great job with the fan, especially during that third
Oh,
one, when
yeah.
everybody else was doing
But it
this.
won't be more
We
than
did have a
30
breeze,
minutes, so
so.
I
Yeah,
think
it
we
won't,
can
yeah,
endure.
30 minutes max, I think, is the time. Okay, that's, see, Thursday, August 13th. It's night. Item C, the New Hanover County Schools Compensation Review Committee meeting is scheduled for Thursday, August 20th, 9 a.m., room 301 of the Administration Building.
I had emailed to see if we could change that date. I'm gonna be in Raleigh that day.
I think Dr. Wellman's, they're working on that.
Okay.
We're working on that because several other members came either, so.
We'll give you
Okay.
an updated date on that one.
So you'll just email a new date when, okay.
Okay.
When's the next vocational high school meeting?
Okay. We didn't set that at our last meeting, but we've traditionally been working on, I think it's the third, yeah,
Friday.
third Friday of the month. So we will send out a reminder on that and make sure we get consensus on it before we announce that one.
Okay.
And again, I won't be here. That would be the 21st, so.
When is the district meeting, and are we planning on taking a van, or?
Yes, that was in our email that gave us that.
I saw it, but I don't remember the date.
It's the
It's the
10th.
10th.
September?
September.
Just came out September 10th.
Mhm.
Let us know how many want to go, and if it's a majority, we can get a van.
It's at, north side up in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
I'd like to attend since it's so close.
yeah.
Or
we're all gonna go
Jacksonville?
to
Jacksonville, north side.
Jacksonville,
No,
north side,
Jacksonville. So on the 10th is our
Yeah.
4
4 o'clock's when it starts,
yeah.
So what time should we be at the bus garage?
2:30.
Yeah, 2:30 would be good. That'd give us an
Okay.
hour and a half.
And
Uh,
I'm sure Mrs. Adams will organize it and let us all know and give us that gentle reminder.
mm. Any other announcements? Motion to adjourn?
Are we having a closed session today?
Nope.
Nope,
No.
we had it.
Okay.
Well, they did it.
Okay. I move that we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned.